Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In a previous video I showed you my Snotling Bloodbowl team, and this time you're looking at a Black Orc Bloodbowl team. Now there is some kind of explanation as to why I got a second Bloodbowl team. When we were playing the match with the Snotlings that I also put a video up of, I noticed that it is quite handy to have the rules nearby. And just having it in a book form rather than just some online PDF is something that I also quite appreciate. So I decided I needed to get the rules, and then I looked on the internet, and you can get the rulebook for £40, euros I think. And you can get the new Season 2 Blood Bowl starter set for 90 euros. And what's included in there is the rules, the full rules. There's the pitch, there's the templates that you need to play, there's star players like this Farag Gulchur and some Imperial Nobility star player. And obviously there's two Blood Bowl teams, being the Black Orcs and the Imperial Nobility team. You also get some dice, you get some refs and etc. So there's a lot of value in this box, and for me, it was the deciding factor to go for this box instead of just for the rules. Also, the Snotling team that I have is a real fun team, but just to play a bit of a little bit more serious Blood Bowl game, it's nice to have just an alternative to them. And I think the Black Orcs are a really cool team in the sense that they really grind down other teams. Having played against it also once with my Snotlings, I really liked how grindy they were and how little they cared about the ball, to be honest. So you have the goblins that do most of the ball handling, but yeah, the orcs, they just grind down your opponent. And yeah, just to talk about the models themselves, as you can see, I went for a black magenta color scheme, and yeah, I had a little bit of struggles with deciding the color theme, the color scheme, because the Black Orc models on the website, they only feature them with black and I believe yellow armor. So that was not really what I wanted to go for. I wanted to go for an alternative scheme that screamed a little bit more football team rather than just a team that's here to just knock and pound. So I decided to go for this black and magenta, and I think it turned out really well. Other options included anything without black, like green and white or something, but the skin color of the Black Orcs is already going to be green or dark green, so I didn't really want to contrast too much with that. And I think the green and magenta, they really offset the skin tone with the pauldrons. Then the skin tone itself, I also used a lot of browns, blues, and purples to mix in some other colors into the skin of the Black Orc models. And you cannot really see that very well from a distance, but once you're a bit more close up, it's really evident that these guys have a skin tone that's a bit more complicated than just the basic green that some players use. I like this distinction in color. You can also see it on the goblins, because I feel like it makes them look a little bit more older, a little bit more experienced, a little bit more gritty, and I think it turned out well. Then the models themselves, yeah, if I were to evaluate the models, I would say that they are an amazing job of getting some cool models that are easy to assemble, yet still offer some variation in the poses. So the poses themselves, they don't vary that much. I mean, basically every model you have twice, but then there's head swaps available in most cases. So for the Black Orc models themselves, you have 6 different heads for the 6 different Black Orcs, but each 2 of these heads only fit on one torso. And for the goblins, you have 2 goblins that have to be identical. That's the one with the, you can see it in this picture, the one with the pointy hat that's just diving down now. One of these models I put in the correct position on the base, the other I put on his other hand, to get a little bit of variation between the two. And then you have a heavily armored goblin that you can also not give his armor at all, and you can turn him into a bit of a wizard model with a yellow moon on his right on his head. And then you have this last nearly naked goblin who has some armor piece, so he is glad, but he's probably going to be the poorest goblin out of the whole team. In addition to these nice things in the box, you also get some stencils with some numbers and some icons. I also use these on the Black Orcs. You have a set for the Black Orc team and you have a set for the Imperial Nobility team. And obviously the numbers that are going to be used for the Black Orc team are a bit more gritty, a bit more rough. And the Black Orc players, they don't really seem to have any designated places where these numbers should go. So that was a bit puzzling of where you should put these numbers, where there's enough space. And I think I found some nice spaces to put these icons on. And it really transforms them from just a general team in football clothes to a football team with all the numbers and everything going on. It also makes it easier to keep track of which players are which numbers, obviously. Then we have the star player. So the star player is Farah Gulchur. And compared to the Black Orc miniatures, he's even more badass, even bigger, even better. I heard in another video that he has the same size as the ogre in the human team, and I can't be surprised about that. I actually sold off my ogre, so I can't compare right now, but I believe that is very true indeed. He's a really cool piece in the team. He also comes with a ghoul that you can mount on his left pauldron. But I chose not to because I don't really like the aesthetic of just ghouls hanging off your models. I also think it takes really a lot of skill to properly paint up a decaying body. So that is also why I went for the easy route, just to leave it off and just paint some battle damage on his left pauldron. Yeah, all in all, I think it's a great set, giving you an awesome Blood Bowl team. I think it's quite beginner friendly. Just the instructions make it really easy to assemble everything. Even though sometimes I had the wrong angles for some different pieces, and then you just have to puzzle a little bit with the pieces until you find the magic angle to put them together. Yeah, and I think it's going to be a great team to play with. So it's nice to have a team beside the Snotling, the very fun Snotling team, to take the game a little bit more serious, I think. All in all, I cannot wait to put these guys on the field and have some first games with them. So hopefully you'll see them very quickly on the pitch. For now, this is all. So I'll see you the next time. Goodbye.